You're listening to Hotepish with your host, Dwan B. Intelligent ish talk, intelligent shit talk, where we balance the profound with the profane. Political satire, celebrity and expert guests, information and entertainment, conversation and solutions. Leave your feelings at the door.
Shouts out to Duncan Bender Hughes for that beat. God damn, that nigga's music knocks. Shouts out to Craig Fax. We're going to be at a day party later on. Rhythm and Brunch. The shit's already sold out, so yeah. We're going to be at that day party later on. Rhythm and Brunch. I can't wait. I'm going as soon as I'm going to get ready to go there as soon as I'm done with this broadcast. But I had to bring this shit today, man. I had to come to y'all today. Because of all this fuck shit going on around music. We have been getting inundated with these people who borrow from our culture, who we shared our culture with openly and freely. The kids have been the kids of our sound, the kids of our funk, the kids of our children have been a little out of hand lately. You know, when I say the children have been out of hand, you know, the people who learn from what we taught them. You know, we built a little bedroom for them. We built a house. We let them have like a little bedroom over somewhere on the eastern wing of the house. Now they trying to claim ownership of the whole goddamn house. And not that little wing over there that they helped contribute to the house. Well, I'm not here to say people didn't contribute to the house of our music. But I'll be goddamned if I let someone claim ownership of the house my ancestors built. For real, for real. What's up, Ramon James? What's up, some chick named Star? Derek Henry. Bossa Queenie. What up, y'all? What up, Ring Blank? What's up, Guru Cam? Miss AP. Thank y'all for joining the chat room. Thank y'all for joining the chat room. Yeah, please subscribe to the video. Like and subscribe to my channel. I've been pushing this channel real heavy for a year. And in 1 year, I went from 35 subscribers last June to over 9,100. So I got over 9,000 subscribers in 1 year. No advertisement, no mainstream push. Just people fucking with me. Some of y'all found me through my Judge Joe Brown interviews. Some of y'all through my Randy Short interviews. Some of y'all through 5150. Some of y'all through Craig Facts. Some of y'all from me just lighting up these comedy stages around the country. Wherever you come from, welcome, welcome, welcome. But I'm going to talk a little bit about this. And I'm going to talk about this a few different times. So for those of you listening, by in no means is this broadcast going to be a complete history on how Black American music influenced the Caribbean sound. But it will be enough for you guys. I will give you references. I will give you names. I will give you dates. It'll be more than enough for you to shoot down anyone from the Caribbean trying to lay claim to hip hop, R&B, or any of our Black sounds here in the United States of America. This broadcast will be more than enough ammunition for you to shut that bullshit all the way down. You dig? Because there was I'm going to start off by pulling up this video of Busta Rhymes saying Black Americans have no culture and the claims that Latinos created hip hop. We're going to first off start off by playing this, and then we will answer Busta Rhymes in an intelligent sort of way, because our bastard child Busta is getting out of line. So with love, we got to put him back in place. Let me play this interview, and then let's play this part, and then I am going to come full circle. All right? One hit. Here we go.
How do you think your music has influenced the Latin music and its culture?
I think that, my family is Jamaican, and Latino and Jamaican are Caribbean people. With tropical people, with people that understand what that timing and that rhythm and that pocket feels like. in a way unlike any other culture of people. You know, from the bass lines to the way we choose to place our words as people of the Caribbean and of the tropics. I think that it's just it's something you can't really define in words. It's a feeling thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you watch Latinos do the South Side of merengue and you see Jamaican people, you know, do they shit. It's kind of like something that goes hand in hand. And, you know, it ain't a coincidence that in every urban community, the Latino and blacks is there together. That ain't no accident. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's not like you find in every urban community, you know, Middle Eastern and black or Asian and black, Jamaican.
Buster, the reason why Latino and black always end up in the same neighborhoods is because that's what we're replaced by the same goddamn people, fool. White folks don't let Latinos or black people come into their neighborhoods because they're afraid we gonna smash all their children and turn their kids non-white. Learn white supremacy, you idiot. That's not by happenstance, that's planned. Learn the history of the United States of America. The United States organizes where it puts its immigrants. The United States dumps its immigrants, the immigrants that they care the least about, they dump them onto black neighborhoods. But before they dumped a lot of y'all onto our neighborhoods, they sent freeways through them neighborhoods to decimate the black business class and then brought y'all asses over onto our neighborhoods. So let's start off, let's tell the whole truth. We can start off already, we hear already with what he's saying. This man don't know history. He know how to rap his ass off. Yeah, I give Busta credit that. Busta knows how to rap his ass off. But it looks as if he read all of his history off the back of a cereal box. Hey, Busta Rhymes, Captain Crunch wasn't really a pirate. You know that, right? I know you get your information off cereal boxes, but let me just tell you right now, brother Busta Rhymes, Captain Crunch was not a real pirate. All right, it's a cartoon. Now let's keep going. Listen to what other bullshit he has to say.
It feels like, in a way, unlike any other culture of people. You know, from the bass lines to the way we choose to place our words as people of the Caribbean and of the tropics. I think that it's just it's something you can't really define in words. It's a feeling thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you watch Latinos do the South Side of merengue and you see Jamaican people, you know, do they shit. It's kind of like something that goes hand in hand. And, you know, it ain't a coincidence that in every urban community, the Latino and blacks is there together. That ain't no accident. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's not like you find in every urban community, you know, Middle Eastern and black or Asian and black. You know, you always see Latino and black. And I think we...
Not true, Buster. Not true. Here in the Crenshaw district, see, you can tell he's from New York. And that's a problem. And no disrespect to my New Yorkers. I know I be talking shit to y'all New Yorkers. Legion of niggas. I got some dope ass New Yorkers that follow me. I'm not here to shit on y'all. But look, that's true for New York. Here in LA, we have this area called the Crenshaw district, predominantly black. Do you know in the area of the Crenshaw district, when I grew up in the 80s, it was black and Oriental, black and Asian. Because the Asians before, specifically Japanese people, before they got their reparations from World War II internment camps in the 80s, they dominated the Crenshaw district, Leimert Park. And from the 60s, 70s, and 80s, it was Asian and black that dominated the Crenshaw district. That's because the Japanese were forced into the Crenshaw district during the time. When they got their reparations checks from World War II, they took their money and they moved out to Arcadia and the city of industry and other parts of the city. They moved the fuck away from us, and the Mexican came later. America organizes where it's going to put its immigrants, you fool.
Just so a part of each other's cultural significance, not only as tropical people, but even here in the United States, where the multicultural, because the U.S. ain't got no culture. They shit is all our shit. A bunch of our shit is what makes the U.S. whatever. And Jamaican, it's kind of like something that goes hand in hand. And, you know, it ain't a coincidence that in every urban community, the Latino and blacks is there together. That ain't no accident. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's not like you find in every urban community, you know, Middle Eastern and black or Asian and black. You know, you always see Latino and black. And I think we just so a part of each other's cultural significance, not only as tropical.
Busta, you guys are a part. You guys share a culture because you're both immigrants. Jamaicans and Latinos both are immigrants. And when they came to America, especially up there in New York, they came with an anti-black agenda. They didn't like, none of you motherfuckers like black Americans. That's why Kool Herc talks about nobody, like about all of the different people from other parts of the world not fucking with hip hop and the funk. They had their own thing. They was listening to Calypso and other shit. They weren't fucking with us until the 80s when our shit got so goddamn good you had to.
People, but even here in the United States, where the multicultural, because the U.S. ain't got no culture. They shit is all our shit. A bunch of...
Hey, Busta, what was the U.S. doing before you got here? Jamaicans weren't allowed to come over in mass until after World War II. Same with Latinos. There were a negligible amount of Jamaicans and Latinos here before 1944. The amount of Latinos and Jamaicans in the United States was negligible. Check the U.S. Census. Don't listen to me. What was going on in the United States before you got here if there's no culture? Don't worry about it, people. I'm going to break all this shit down. I just want y'all to listen to Busta's words himself so you can understand why I'm going so hard.
Our shit is what makes the U.S. whatever you want to call it. We still don't know what that culture is for the U.S., but it's a mix-up of all of our cultures. And in the urban community, you know, the Latino and the West Indian has the greatest influence, and we've always had, and we'll always will, and it's just been that way. So I've actually been influenced by the Latino community, which allows me to feel that much more comfortable putting my West Indian influence in my music, because
I've been influenced by the Latino community. These are his words, to put his West Indian influence in his music. Right there, that tells you this man is not rooted in he's not rooted in nothing. If you need an outside culture to help you root you in what you perceive as your culture, question, do you have an understanding of your culture? I'm being serious. If you need to look at Latinos to root yourself in Jamaican culture while making money off of a distinctly 100% black American art form, that means you don't know who you are. That's why people always talk about knowledge of self. Knowledge of self, knowing who you are. Knowledge of self is the basis for all things. You got to know who you are. This man don't know who the fuck he is. Yet he's trying to speak on us. He don't know his roots. Yet he's trying to say that his roots are the one is what supplies America with its culture. How you know, nigga? You don't even know who you are. Let me keep going.
made me feel that much more proud to be like, yeah man, yo me and I say it. But I'm just saying, a lot of the times, it ain't until you're made to feel comfortable giving it to the people who and what you really are, what your influences are, or your upbringing in the house, that you do it. So,
not until you're made to feel comfortable. Busta, nobody can make you feel comfortable. Being comfortable is a decision that you make. And the fact that your decision to be comfortable wasn't a proactive decision, you needed somebody else to grant you comfortability. Who are you, Busta? Let me keep going.
So, being that I've been made to feel comfortable doing it, I think I also got to acknowledge and credit the Latinos for their influence on me. Just the same way that I've been able to take that influence and give it back to the music. But a lot of that just has to do with just being around it, growing up a part of it, and, just seeing that it worked. When I was able to do the shit and incorporated it little by little and seeing the shit work, I was like, man, this shit is not gonna ever stop happening with me, because it's an advantage that I have being of the Caribbean descent, being of the tropical upbringing, being from that environment. I can use that to my advantage. A lot of rap motherfuckers and American artists, they can't use that, and I can do what they doing as an American, but I also got this little secret weapon that I'm gonna pull out.
American artists can't do it? Busta, we don't need to tap into anything Jamaican or Latino, because your styles of music comes from us. What do we need to tap into your sound for when your sound is 100% dependent upon the foundation that we laid? You don't know yourself, man. So anybody that know Busta, share with him this broadcast after I break this down. You talking to somebody who does not know himself. Well, he about to find out when I'm done with this shit. Let me finish this.
Out the stash every now and then, and I must use it to my advantage. So, I think that's really what it is. And so far, it's been magical results for me.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
So there we go. Busta Rhymes says, even though he's living in the United States of America, even though he makes his money off of an American form of music, all of our shit was taken from Caribbean influence and Latino influence. If the Caribbean and Latino influence was so heavy, why do you need to come here to the United States to make it happen? What's the purpose of coming here? If the world is so interested in your style, you guys have a whole cluster of islands where you're the dominant society on. It's more you than it is white folks. If your sound is all you're saying it is, why do you need to come here to make it happen? Let's break that down. Let's break it all the way down. But before I break it down all the way, look, get my new t-shirt, Rebels for the Cause. You got to teach the kids that, hey, we didn't sit around singing "We Shall Overcome" as black people. We had some motherfucking gangsters that helped us take our freedom. Nat Turner, Robert Smalls, Bass Reeves, Denmark Vesey. And I'll tell you where we did get some Caribbean influence. We got it from Jean-Jacques Dessalines in the Haitian Revolution. I have no problem giving credit where credit is due. Thank you, Haiti. Because your revolution is what inspired Denmark VC. Your revolution is what inspired Nat Turner. You dig? So Black Americans ain't got no issue giving them credit where credit is due. But we are not going to allow you to stand on our shoulders. Fuck that. Fuck that. Not in our country. You're not going to come here with this shit. No. You don't have the balls to stand up to the white people dominating your island, but you want to come to America and bite off our culture and say it's yours. Fuck you if you had that kind of mindset. Not everyone, but those with that mindset, FUCKYOU. And your mama for not teaching you shit. Knucklehead motherfuckers. Let's get up into it. Let's break down what I'm talking about. All right. Let's take this back. What we about to do is we about to take it back. Let's just start off with the setup. The Black American setup for music starts with the drums. It starts with the drums. If we're going to talk music, we got to first start with the foundation. And the foundation of music is the bandstand that's being used, the setup. Because whatever sound you're trying to pull off is dictated by the setup of your bandstand. D.D. Chandler, William D.D. Chandler, 1896, invented the foot pedal. Y'all see down here? I'm a drummer, so the sound of R&B, the sound of dancehall, the sound of reggae, the sound of rock and roll, the sound of jazz starts off with the drum set. Drums, foot pedal, hi-hat, snare. Before the hi-hat, the wood block. And they used the wood block because cymbals were too loud for early recording systems. Those early recording systems could not handle the sound of a crash cymbal or a hi-hat, so they used a wood block instead. But this was started by a black man out of New Orleans named D.D. Chandler. This picture was taken in 1896 of the first drum set. Anything that has a drum set as the foundation of the music comes from Black America. Period. Point blank. Shut the fuck up. Period. If you hear drum set or an 808 or an MPC or anything imitating drums, it comes out of this setup right here. See, the American bandstand for Black American music is drums, bass, keys. The bass guitar was invented in the United States. The Fender P bass came out in 1951. That was the first reliable. There were some iterations of the electric bass guitar before the Fender P bass. But the Fender P bass came out in 1951. You know what else came out in 1951? Rocket 88. What's Rocket 88? The first R&B song ever recorded by Ike Turner. No coincidence that the bass and the first rock and roll song came out the same year. No coincidence. So when Busta want to say we have no culture, we have no influence, okay, then give us our drum set back. Give us our bass guitar back. You didn't have that without us, homeboy. Because before we came out with the bass, when you guys were playing Mento and Calypso, this is what you were using for bass. The marimba box. This was your bass. Sometimes the tuba. Don't play with me. Do not play with me. Don't play with me. This is the setup of a traditional Jamaican drum sound. Steel drums and hand drums. You can't even pull off the dancehall / reggae sound with traditional reggae drums. I mean, traditional Jamaican drums. What's missing is the timbales. The Caribbean Latin sound, the Afro-Latino sound consists of steel drums, hand drums, and timbales. Hey, Busta, try to rap over some damn congos and no drum set and see if anybody buys that shit. You guys did not even have the instrumentation set up to pull off the ska sound and the reggae sound until Black Americans invented it. Okay? You don't have the technology to even have a sound. If black people don't invent and show you how to use the damn instruments. And don't give me no generic. I know what some people may say. Oh, the drums came from the plantation and they can't. Look, fool. First of all, drums have been around for over 5,000 years, documented. Drums have always been around. Drums are not unique to any one group of people. We don't even know the group of people who came up with the first drums. You see paintings of people playing the drums in the damn Grand Canyon cliff dwellings. That those paintings date back over 40,000 years. So the drums have always been around. But not the drum set. Kick, snare, hi-hat. That is distinctly Black American. Before D.D. Chandler came up with the first drum set, you had to have one guy playing the bass drum and a different guy playing the snare and somebody else playing the cymbals. It took 3 people to play what one person can now do on the drum set. The drum set changed the sound of music. So let me start off there. You're right, Dr. Sinister, your heartbeat is the drum. The drums are the heartbeat of the music. You can't get dancehall without a drum set because you can't pull that sound off without it. You cannot pull dancehall off with a marimba box and some steel drums. You can't do it. Okay? Now let's go a little further on into my breakdown. Because like I said, we starting this shit. What did they say? What did Pop say on Boomerang? From the Rudy to the Tootie. The whole pig. Yeah, we about to dissect this whole pig because y'all full of bullshit, man. So this right here, just the bandstand setup alone, shuts down anything you guys have to say about your influence on our music. We could stop here. I could just stop in 1951 when the Fender P-Bass came out. I could stop in 1896 when D.D. Chandler invented the first foot pedal, which spurred on the first known drum set. I could stop, but I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going. Ska, S-K-A, music, we all know, is a Jamaican sound. But where does it come from? I'm going to give you guys a few online references and a few book references. A lot of what I'm saying here comes out of this book right here. Blue Monday, Fast Domino, and the Lost Art of the Dawn of Rock and Roll. In this book, Bob Marley himself, if you order this book, Bob Marley himself says the early days of reggae comes from American soul music, American R&B. Get the book Blue Monday. Get the book Blue Monday. You will see quotes from Bob Marley himself talking about rock and roll's influence on ska and R&B and reggae. You dig? Get that book. For people who aren't going to buy the book, which is 99% of y'all won't buy the book, I'll do some basic, easy. This research isn't hard. I'll just go to Wikipedia for you. And I'll go to some non-Wikipedia sites also. Because some people fuck with Wikipedia. Wikipedia, you know how they go in and out. So I'm going to go a few different places for you. All right? Because this is easy shit to look up. See, the thing about the early Jamaican brothers, they weren't on this ego shit like Busta Rhymes. They knew their history, unlike Busta Rhymes. They gave credit where credit was due. So all you got to do is go back to the original creators of their sound and listen to what they say. Oh shit, 11:11, my favorite time of the day. My favorite number's 1111. Woo! After World War II, Jamaicans purchased radios in increasing numbers and were able to hear rhythm and blues music from the southern United States in cities such as New Orleans by artists such as Fats Domino, Barbie Gay, Roscoe Gordon, and Louis Jordan, whose early recordings all contain the seeds of the backbeat. They say behind the beat, but musicians call it backbeat. Of the backbeat feel of ska and reggae. Stationing of American military forces during and after the war meant Jamaicans could listen to military broadcasts of American music. and there was a constant influx of American recordings from the United States to meet the demand of music. Entrepreneurs such as Prince Buster, Coxsing Dodd, Duke Reed formed sound systems. I read that part for a reason, because people always want to talk about the Jamaican sound systems. First of all, the Jamaican sound system was invented by a Chinese immigrant to Jamaica, but that's another story. They brought those sound systems to play our music. They didn't create those sound systems to hear a bunch of steel drums and congos get played. They bought them sound systems to listen to Fats Domino and Roscoe Gordon. The guitar chop, the offbeat, that comes from Roscoe Gordon. Listen here.
Fooling around with you, honey, no more dogging. Fooling around with you, I'm gonna let you out, baby. That's what I.
That's what your favorite Jamaican artists say they got their sound from. Right there. Doom. That's where the ska musicians say they got their sound from. Because it was American music getting pumped into Jamaica, not the other way around. After World War II, it was Jamaicans coming to the United States, not the other way around. How can we take something from you when we're not even going to your fucking island? How can we take something from you when we don't even know what y'all playing, because y'all ain't got radio stations that can be picked up here in LA, here in New Orleans, in Miami. But New Orleans have radio stations and Memphis have radio stations that you can listen to. It doesn't even make sense to say that we took from you when we didn't even know what the fuck you had going on. Yet you knew what we had going on. How is that? Let's go into Prince Buster, one of the brothers who came up with the sound system. Let's listen to what he say he did with the sound system. When he was learning music, Prince Buster, what was he playing at the Glass Bucket Club? He was playing, look here, I'm highlighting, Frankie Lyman. Foundational Black. Y'all remember that movie, Why Do Fools Fall in Love? That song was about Frankie, that movie was about Frankie Lyman. That's what your inventor of the sound system was playing. He wasn't playing Calypso. He was playing Frankie Lyman. Show me the American musician that was playing anything from the Caribbean during this time. See, I ain't got to listen to what you say. You got to show it to me through your artist. If you want me to listen to you, you got to pull this artist and say, hey, your black musicians took this sound from this artist and brought it to America from Jamaica. Can you do that? No, you can't. Let's go back to one of the other inventors of the so-called the glorified sound system, Mr. Seymour. Look at this. The Kingston-born Dot used to play records to the customers of his parents' shop. During a spell in the American South, let me say that again. During a spell in the American South, he became familiar with rhythm and blues. In 1954, back in Jamaica, he set up the downbeat sound system. Being the owner of an amplifier and turntable and some U.S. records, which he would import from New Orleans and Miami. Mind you, this is when a lot of black Americans still lived in Miami before the freeway system took us out. With the success of his sound system and in the competitive environment, Dot will make his trips through the U.S. looking for tunes to attract the Jamaican public. Oh, I'm clowning you niggas today. Since y'all want to go ahead and say that our sound comes from dancehall and reggae, let me show you something from your forefathers. This ain't Dwan talking. This is the forefathers of your sound that you claim we took. Dot opened 5 different sound systems, each playing every night to run his sound system. Dot appointed people such as Lee Scratch Perry. We all know who Lee Scratch Perry is, who was Dot's right-hand man early in his recording career. When the R&B craze ended in the United States, which it never did end. It never did end. That's just Wikipedia. R&B is still alive. Hell, R&B didn't reach its prime until the 1970s. What they talking about, real R&B didn't reach its prime for another 15, 20 years. In 1962, he produced the jazz record, I Cover the Waterfront. Not Calypso. In 1963, he opened Studio One. It was the first black-owned recording studio in Jamaica. He held regular Sunday evening auditions in search of new talent, and it was here that Dot auditioned Bob Marley, singing as part of the Wailers. Again, that's more black American influence on the Jamaican sound. Okay? Duke Reed. Y'all can go ahead and look him up. He dominated the Jamaican music scene in the 60s, specializing in ska and rock steady, though his love for American jazz and blues and soul was evident in his recordings. So again, when we go back to talking about the originators of their sound, they point back to the United States of America. Ah. Ha! Ha! This is another article I pulled up. Again, a lot of the stuff you can find in the books, but since people don't, I know it's kind of hard. Some of these books are out of print. And on top of that, y'all know me, I'm a music historian. I've been studying this stuff for over 20 years. So most of what I say comes off the top of my head because I've been studying this for so long. I just pulled up some articles for you guys to go back and read And then you could do your own research to follow up and see if I'm lying. Because I know when I do on topics like this, when I go completely off the top of my head, y'all be like, man, but where'd you get that from? So let me go ahead and just give you some references. I was able to pull all these. Look, put it like this. Let me tell y'all something, people. I put this show together. I put today's broadcast together in less than 30 minutes. All of these articles that I'm pointing you to, I pulled them all up in less than 30 minutes because I already knew where to look. This is old news. This isn't DwannBrown being so smart or so intelligent or so groundbreaking. No, I'm a student of music. And I've been a student of music for a long time. I'm a musician. I'm a drummer. And anything that I do, I always find the history of what I do. I'm a self-taught musician. When I started teaching myself the drums at the age of 13, I also started teaching myself the history of music at the same time. So I've been at this shit since the 90s. But this article right here is from CaribbeanIntelligence.com. Music aficionados would defy you to listen to Fats Domino's 1959 single, Be My Guest, and not only hear the early use of heavy offbeat, the rhythmic feature that became the backbone of ska. Time and again in chronicles of early Jamaican music, Fats Domino's name crops up as one of the early superhero heroes of the emerging sound and culture. How did Fats Domino cast such a big shadow in the 1950s in Jamaica? Well, many of ska, rocksteady, and reggae's greatest performers spent their formative years listening to the blues and R&B broadcasts loud and clear all the way from powerful radio stations in New Orleans and Miami. Ho, you mean see, look, for people who don't understand research, that's what you call a cross-reference right there. I gave you what Wikipedia said. Then I cross-referenced it with CaribbeanIntelligence.com. And I also gave you a book to go ahead and buy. Blue Monday, The Fats Domino Sound, The Lost Art of Rock and Roll by Rick Coleman. See, I'm not Busta Rhymes, somebody who doesn't know who I am, so I gotta look at another culture to be inspired to talk about who I am. No. I'm not saying I'm Big Bad Dwan, you better believe me. I'm giving you information that's cross-referenced. I dare you to do the same. If anyone has an issue with what I'm saying, I challenge you to do the same with me. Hotepish@gmail.com. Send me your references, sites, and sources on anything contradictory to what I'm saying. Hotepish@gmail.com. Let me say that one more time. Hotepish@gmail.com. Email me your information to the contrary. Not your opinion, not how you feel, not what you think. References, bitch. Stay on topic, people in the chat room. Please, stay on topic. We don't need short bus people in here trying to ask me about what time the sun rises in August. Don't bring up ancient Kemet in my chat room. We don't need any generalizations. Well, all the drums came from Africa. Well, I just told you where the drum set came from. And if you got anything to counter that, let me know. If you ain't got, sit back and listen. U.S. artists also started making concert appearances in Jamaica in the early 1950s, leaving their own imprints on the island's embryonic music scene. Embryonic means embryo. It was just really starting. Mind you, they got their first damn recording studio a few years before this. In an island that they have the majority numbers on. Fats himself appeared in Jamaica in 1961, playing at the Jamaica Music Festival in Montego Bay on January 31st, followed by 10 dates in Kingston. You can only get 10 dates in one city if that whole city and that whole island fuck with you. Ain't no artist playing 10 dates unless they that goddamn popular. So Fats Domino wasn't somebody who was just playing some music. He had 10 fucking dates in the same city. Mind you, there is no ska sound, there is no reggae sound before Fats Domino. Mind you, these sounds did not exist on that island before his music, according to them. Fats was one of the key figures when that wave of U.S. R&B crashed onto Jamaican shores. But not the only one. Roscoe Gordon, Smiley Lewis, and Amos Milburn. Again, they're cross-referencing what I put up in the other article. These two sites have nothing to do with one another. These sites have nothing to do with one another. Mentioning the same people. As ska was being invented, Fats Domino's influence remained pervasive. Derek Morgan's hit Fat Man was a completely different song from Domino's similarly named million-selling debut, and Lord Domino's early ska cover of the popular evergreen I'm in the Mood for Love just came a few years after Fats had revived the song and brought it to R&B lovers' ears. No less a figure than Bob Marley said reggae started with Fats Domino. According to Rick Coleman. On the book. Oh shit. I didn't even notice. Hell, look. They referenced the book I just told you about in this website. Is that synchronicity? I just told y'all about this book I read that I have. And on this same, here it is, Blue Monday. That book, I think that book is out of print, but you can still get it from like the UK or something like that. I got this book a long time ago. Bob Marley said reggae started with Fats Domino. Why am I going to listen to Busta Rhymes, somebody who doesn't even appreciate his own culture enough to express it? Busta Rhymes needed Latinos. He needed to see Latinos express their culture for him to be comfortable enough to express his. Why am I going to listen to somebody who's uncomfortable in his own skin over Bob fucking Marley himself? Some of the more perceptive tributes to Fats Domino's life and times have picked up on the Jamaican connection. The UK's Guardian newspaper said in its obituary, his records were certainly regularly played on Jamaican sound systems in the 1950s. And his accentuation of the offbeat in his playing is one of the roots of ska. The music Jamaicans started to make when the supply of suitable R&B records dried up. Listen to the rhythm of his 1959 single Be My Guest, and you can hear what they're trying to imitate. North Jersey Shore website said that Fats was a musician who went viral half a century before the internet. The Fats Domino piano sound, chunky chords in the right hand, walking bass on the left, was hugely popular in Jamaica. One song in particular, Be My Guest, went viral. Local musicians began copying the style in their songs, and gradually the beat became the loop in a distinctly Jamaican way. This is what a Caribbean website is saying. Let's go to North Jersey's obituary of Fats Domino. This man, when he died, he wasn't celebrated the way we should have celebrated him. He made R&B hella popular. Mind you, the first R&B album was Ike Turner, Rocket 88, 1951. Around this same time, you have Chuck Berry getting his sound. You have Ray Charles getting his sound. Putting it together. But it was Fats Domino that made R&B as popular as it was. His revolution led to hip-hop. A Jamaican tradition that developed in tandem with reggae was toasting. Rhyming, boasting to the set beat of music played on portable sound systems. A Jamaican DJ, Kool Herc, moved to the Bronx and began to show the locals how to toast to the American funk tunes like Good Times. That was the start of hip-hop. But even here, they got it a little bit wrong. Toasting? What is toasting? Rhyming and boasting to the beat of music, right? Okay. For that, I give you Cab Calloway. This is 1937. This is the 30s. See, rhyming over a beat did not start with rap music. Black America's been doing this shit since we've had a recorded sound. Listen to Pig Beat Markham in 1968. I heard somebody that green-haired chick that was on a Breakfast Club a couple days ago, I heard her say that they got the verses from Jamaican sound wrong. Because in jazz, there was something called cutting contests. Cutting contests is when I was the dopest guitar player in the land and you thought you was dope. So we was going to sit here and go back and forth until one of us won. You want to know where verses come from? Verses comes from Chick Webb at the Savoy Ballroom in New York. This is where it was codified. This had been going on in Black American clubs already. But we could take you back to 1941. I'm sorry, 1937.
As the music battle of the century. Fellas, this is my hour, Webb told his men. Anybody misses notes, don't come back to work. "4,000 fans jammed into the ballroom, and mounted policemen and firemen had to be called to control the crowd of 5,000 more who couldn't get in and refused to go home. Among those who did get in were Norma Miller and Frankie Manning, professional Lindy Hoppers now, who had been taking on all comers in dance contests around the world. They had come home to the Savoy to see their hero face his most celebrated challenger.
This here is talking about Chick Webb. Chick Webb was the house band at the Savoy in New York. And every year he had a battle of the bands where other people's best band came down to the Savoy and they played swing and they swang back and forth until somebody won. Remember I told you how hip hop's roots are in jazz? Ain't that the same as battle rap? Remember I told you hip hop's roots are in jazz? Remember when we talked about hip hop having b-boying as a dance style? B-boying was just the current form of dance music that came out of funk. They were b-boying to funk, according to Kool Herc himself. They weren't b-boying to calypso. They weren't b-boying to ska. They weren't b-boying to reggae. They were b-boying to funk. All forms of Black American music has a dance to go along with it. That's old school when it comes to us, my man. Busta. Jamaicans trying to take our shit. We was doing this shit with our music long before the United States allowed y'all over here in mass numbers. Long before y'all had radios to pick up our sound and what we were doing, we were already having battle contests, dance-offs. And it got real big with Chick Webb. See? I had a mute
that played swing. We would buy the records, so we knew about Benny Goodman. A lot of people may not realize that a lot of the arrangements that Benny Goodman had, Chick Webb had the same arrangement. And when they get on the bandstand, now this is when you can know which band is the best.
I just played that little bit of a snippet. That full documentary is a series on jazz on PBS. This is a snippet online, but if you want this full series, it's like a 10-part series on jazz. They recorded it like around the year 2000, 2001 by PBS. You can download it on iTunes. If you want to know a lot of the basis of American music, you got to get that documentary. Because these other groups, they don't know this. They just heard what they heard, and they look down on Black Americans. Even people who look black by skin, they look down on us. For some reason, I don't know why they look down on us. They couldn't build it where they came from. They had to come here. But because of their own projected insecurities, they look down on us. So they think, oh, no way we could do. No, you've been taking our shit, and y'all were taking our shit back in your homeland before y'all even got here. That's why you're so goddamn confused. Your legends was taking our shit. But at least your legends, at least your legends told us the truth, where they got it from. At least they told us the truth on where it came from. The rise of reggae. Let's go a little deeper. Minto and the birth of reggae. The growth of ska and the influence of R&B. While Jamaica's professional recording industry was also starting to take shape, recording studios which had concentrated in American-influenced R&B began hiring out their facilities to local musicians to record original songs. Jamaica became independent in 1962, and ska's upbeat rhythm reflected the mood of the newly autonomous country, adopting America's R&B style, but adding Minto elements. This is from the BBC, all right? I know a lot of you Jamaicans, a lot of y'all don't want to hear a nigga say it, so I put up, y'all like the BBC because y'all like the UK. This is from the BBC.co.uk. Adopting America's R&B style, but adding Minto elements. The music kept a 4/4 timing with a guitar or piano used to increase emphasis on the offbeat, along with a dynamic brass section and creeping bass line for a new Jamaican sound. Oh, where did they get that bass line from? Is it because they were playing the bass, the electric bass? An instrument popularized by Black Americans? Doesn't even tell you about what kind of drum set was set up. Was it that little box and congos and steel drums? Or was it a drum set with a snare and a foot pedal and cymbals? Huh? I'm not here to shit on Jamaica. Jamaica's a beautiful place. Reggae is a beautiful form of music. But I am here to tell the truth. Reggae is a child of R&B. Because in Jamaica, they can hear New Orleans radio stations, not vice versa. Niggas in New Orleans didn't know what the fuck y'all was doing down there in Jamaica in the 1960s. But y'all sure didn't know what we was doing. So again, how could our music come from you? Huh? Another article talking about the rocksteady sound being influenced by American R&B and jazz. So whether I'm talking about rocksteady, ska, reggae, it all points back to R&B. Yet you got Black American children listening to a Busta like Busta Rhymes telling us that their sound came from the Caribbean. No. No. No, sir. No, sir. I ain't about to allow that lie on my watch. Nope. Nope. This is our shit. This is your shit. Steel drums, congos. This is our shit. Drums, bass, keys. Our sound, your sound. Our sound, your sound. Don't fuck with me. This man, Roscoe Gordon, has more to do with your sound coming together than anyone native from your island, according to people from your island. Your sound, our sound. We don't need to argue with these people. All we got to do is talk history. That's why I was like, man, fuck that critical race theory. We don't need no critical race theory. Just talk about what happened in chronological order. Somebody said, hey, I want y'all to read this dumbass comment. This is my first time reading the comments. Oh, I must have good timing. Somebody named Jason Smith said, Timberlake cohort came here and invented the break. Huh? I'm going to need you to clarify that statement. Because the break beat come from James Brown. Sorry to break it to you. But the break beat? Oh, and I wish I could say I could do some more Incense and Ashtray shows so I could play the music. The break beat comes from James Brown, my friend. The break it down, switch it up. That comes from James Brown, my friend. Sorry to break it to you. That doesn't come from Jamaica. James Brown is from South Carolina. Lived most of his life in Georgia. That's where the breakbeat comes from. James Brown. Sorry to break it to ya. Sorry to break it to you. That's James Brown, my friend. Thank you, Taylor Drake. Herc was smart enough to take things that already existed in America. He brought things together that were already here. Oh, and you want to know where DJing and rapping over the DJing comes from? That comes from Kansas City. That comes from Kansas City. See, in the 1930s, one second. I'm trying to be right and exact. Trying to be right and exact with the names. Well, anyway, because I don't want to do all the searching right now. I'll probably put it later on. When it comes to the whole DJing over music, that got popular in Kansas City when the first nationally syndicated radio show would play Count Basie, Charlie Parker, Joe Turner, Lester Young. The DJs would introduce the music. Coming up next, here to flex, Count Basie with a song that's rest. That was me making up some bullshit. But that sound came from there, where he would rap and introduce the next artist, which then Kansas City is also the place of bop. I had somebody on my Twitter, on my Instagram. I don't know if you're listening. It was somebody on my Instagram earlier today saying, you got to give credit because the whole bop sound came from Jamaica. No. The sound bop comes from Charlie Parker. Charlie Parker is the one that came up with the bop sound, bebop. Bebop. That's where bop came from. Bebop. Charlie Parker. Bird and Dizzy. And then it evolved in the 1960s by John Coltrane, through John Coltrane, when John Coltrane came out with the hard bop sound. In the 60s in New York. That's where the term bop comes from. Charlie Parker, Sonny Rollins, John Coltrane, Dizzy Gillespie, Horace Silver, Thelonious Monk, Oscar Peterson. On the drums, Max Roach, Art Blakey, J.J. Johnson on trombone. This off the top of my motherfucking head. You niggas don't know music. See, this is the problem. And I've always said this. Hip hop and true fans of hip hop need to scale back and find and connect with hip hop's roots in jazz and the blues. Hip hop, when it started to become popularized, it had to somewhat self-segregate because the older black generation that was into R&B and jazz wouldn't give hip hop the credibility it deserved. So the early class of hip hop had to self-segregate to protect itself from the older people who were always trying to discredit it. But hip hop could never truly distinguish itself from other sounds because hip hop was dependent on other sounds. They took music out of the schools in the 60s and the 70s. So since they took music out of the schools and people couldn't create their own music, they had to rap. What we were already doing, I just proved to you in the 30s. They had to then rap because when you take music out of school, you're not teaching kids how to sing. They don't know what an A flat is. They don't know what a circle of fifths is. They don't know how F sharp sounds. So since they can't sing, they got to interpret their music through rap. And since they didn't have any instruments of their own, they had to play music that was already recorded. So all of your early rap songs came off of James Brown break beats. That's where you get break dancing. B-boying. The original soundtrack to that style dancing was funk. And if it wasn't, I need you to show me the hits from the rap hits from the 70s and 80s that was based on a Caribbean sound. Even Busta said it himself. Busta told it himself in that interview. But when Busta's the ones that said, I didn't feel comfortable with giving up my Jamaican sound. So basically what you're saying, Busta, is during your prime, during the years that people loved you in the 90s, you weren't even cool with your own sound. You had to sound like who? Black Americans. You didn't even get comfortable enough, Busta Rhymes, according to your own interview, your own words. You didn't get comfortable in your Caribbean sound until much, much, much later. See, when Black Americans, I didn't want to have to do this to y'all. I didn't want to have to ether y'all like this. I'm okay with Jamaicans maintaining reggae and dancehall as their native sounds. I've been knowing for over 25 years that Fats Domino was the roots and basis of the Jamaican sound. I never went around talking about it. I didn't need to. Why should I? I'm okay with just letting you live. If you want to think reggae started from you, and no, that's fine. Reggae is a beautiful form of music. But I'm not going to sit here and let you try to lay claim to our shit when you don't even have complete ownership of your shit. How about that? And if I'm lying, prove me wrong. Hotepish@gmail.com. No, matter of fact, if I'm lying, I wasn't going to take calls because I got to go to this day party in about an hour. But I'm going to take some motherfucking calls. I'm going to be right back. Give me 30 seconds. Let me set this phone line up, and I'm going to take calls from anybody who think they got something against what I got to say. I got 20 more minutes of time for y'all shit if y'all got it. I got 20 minutes. Give me 30 seconds to set this phone line up, and I'm going to have y'all call in. If you take issue with what I'm saying or if you can prove me wrong. The number's right here. Give me about 30 seconds to set it up. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. The phone lines are set up. Anybody got to take issue with what I say, call in. If you got proof, if you can point me to the artists that influenced the American sound, show me. I don't want your feelings. If you come to me with feelings, I'm going to get you off the phone right away. I'm not going to talk feelings with any of y'all. You got to show me. Because y'all basically trying to stake a claim into hip hop because Kool Herc brought some damn speakers to a damn street party. And y'all saying that's the basis of hip hop. All of hip hop, even though he's using American equipment, the American sound, the Black American neighborhood, even though everything that went into the seasoning was Black American, Jamaicans get to claim hip hop because of a damn party. When I show you the Black American claim to reggae, I took you from instrumentation to artists, pointed you to actual songs, cross-referenced by multiple sites. I gave you a book to look up. I pointed out how the radio transmissions was going one way, not the other way. They were picking up music out of New Orleans and Jamaica. They weren't picking up music out of Jamaica in New Orleans. That was a one-way street. I pointed out to you how Fats Domino was the biggest artist in Jamaica in 61. The biggest sound in Jamaica was a Black American sound out of New Orleans. Don't conflate someone who helped build a wing of the house to the architect. Did Jamaicans and does the Caribbean have contributions to hip hop? Of course. You got contributions. You know, over there in the left wing of hip hop, y'all designed one of the rooms. Y'all picked the carpet. Y'all chose the color of the walls in one of the rooms of the wing, in one of the wings of hip hop. Dancehall has a room. It definitely has a room. Y'all decided what furniture goes in that room, and you can have that room. But when you start conflating your room that we allowed you to design in our shit using our paint, using our carpet, everything you designed your room with, we created. I'm not going to conflate that with being the person that was the architect of the house. You don't get to design a room using our equipment and complain and claim ownership. Fuck no. You get credit for what you contributed. You designed a dope room within the house of hip hop using the tools that we gave you. Because your room in the house of hip hop, y'all not rapping over steel drums. Y'all not rapping over somebody playing the timbales and the cowbell. See, because if it was truly your room, it would be a merengue playing the bass. It would be someone playing the congos. And for you too smart for your own good time niggas, you can't refer one song. I mean a whole sound. Your sound within the house of hip hop was created off instruments we gave you. Boom. And your sound of hip hop is only popular in New York. Dancehall is cool, but they don't really fuck with it like that here in LA. They don't really fuck with dancehall like that in the South, in Seattle, in Chicago. Now, it'll be a dance night on any given night in the club. It might be a little 20-minute dancehall breakdown But then it's back to the real shit that we listen to. And that dancehall that they play, that shit better have drums, bass, and keys. Because niggas is not dancing to no goddamn steel drums. Ain't nobody dancing to that shit. You better use our instrumentation if you want to bring in y'all sound to our ears. You better use the shit that we invented. Because if you use your instrumentation, no one's going to fucking listen to that shit. That ain't me talking, that's record sales talking. Talking about a damn, okay, yeah, you got a damn sound system, but what is that sound system pushing out? Black American instruments, not Minto boxes. Maroomba boxes. Those sound systems ain't playing no goddamn calypso, maroomba boxes, or steel drums. That sound system is pushing out drums, bass, and keys, goddammit. I'm not here to shit on you. I am here to claim ownership of my shit. And I see ain't nobody goddamn called either. I see ain't nobody got no challenge for what I'm saying either. Because I took you from the Rudy to the Tootie. From the ass to the mouth. On Black America's influence on ska, reggae, which eventually evolved into dancehall during the 80s. Hip hop is Black American music, lock, stock, and barrel. Delano L said Niagara Falls, New York don't even rock with reggae like that. Exactly. Reggae is popular in the city where all y'all are imported to. My man checking in from Niagara Falls like, man, we don't even fuck with that sound like that. Go to a dance hall night here in LA. I've been to a few. They used to have Jamaican Gold. And on Jamaican Gold, when you go there, Jamaican Gold, yeah, it's going to have some foundational Black Americans there. Yes, it will. But the majority of the people there on Jamaican Gold are the Jamaicans, Belizeans, Dominicans, Africans. Jamaican Gold night here in LA be comprised of y'all, really. It don't really be... Jamaican Gold Night is never dominated by foundational Black Americans here in LA. There'll be some place that foundational Black Americans go, oh yeah, Jamaican Gold Bro got some fat asses. And we stop in on it every now and again. Because we love women. Hey, the Jamaican women are beautiful. Shit. God damn, y'all women are beautiful. Caribbean women are beautiful. So you get some FBA stopping through there for that. But your hardcore Jamaican Gold Night members, them niggas is from Belize. They weren't from here. You know, LA got a whole bunch of Belizeans. If you want a Belizean chick, you better go to Jamaican Gold Night. Somebody said when you finish venting, first of all, you gotta spell my name right. The proper spelling of my name is on the bottom line below. He said, but when you finish venting, the next show should be about how we take back ownership of all genres, black music. I'm not venting. I'm giving you guys news and information. How do we take it back? By doing what the fuck I'm doing right now. Speaking up. First of all, we don't have anything to take back. We still own it. We still have it. It's still ours. We allow other people to create their own narrative and bastardize it, and we don't say nothing. But even when you listen to R&B now, this shit that they got all these immigrants doing in R&B, this shit sucks. That ain't our music. That's their interpretation of our shit. Compare the quality of Rihanna's music to the quality of Shaka Khan's music. That right there lets you know that we doing two different things. While Rihanna's going around talking about some, not even singing, scat talking. Under my umbrella, Ella, while she's over there quoting her vowels, A-E-I-O-U, sometimes Y. You can't put that next to Shaka Khan singing, can't nobody. You can't put that next to Gladys Knight singing, these are the makings of you. You can't put that next to Stephanie Mills singing, what you gonna do with my lovin'? You can't put that bullshit ass music next to our authentic R&B and soul. They cannot exist in the same environment. The shit that they got these immigrants singing right now ain't got a goddamn thing on what we were doing before our music was so rudely interrupted by the White Paper Report in 1978 and conspired upon by white America, allowing people who immigrated to this country to sing their versions of our music at a substandard level. I said it, substandard. And it's not just the immigrants. Hell, I can't listen to Chris Brown. That shit sucks. It's not just the it's the black Americans that are out now too on radio. That shit sucks. You can't compare Chris Brown's music to what Isaac Hayes was putting out. You can't compare that to what Marvin Gaye was putting out. That shit sucks. In comparison. You can't compare that bullshit that what Drake been putting out the same song for 15 years. You can't compare what Drake's music can only be fire in an environment that there is no competition on the radio. Drake wouldn't be popping in an era of Earth, Wind & Fire, Parliament Funkadelic, the Daz Band, Chic, his uncle Larry Graham, and Sly and the Family Stone. Drake wouldn't be popping in an era with that good-ass music coming out. No. Drake can only be popular in a sucky ass music environment that we have now. Oh shit, somebody said it in the chat room. Thank you. That's the DJ I was looking for out of Philadelphia. I was looking for the goddamn name. Jocko Henderson. Thank you. Paxton Howard just said it in the chat room. Jocko Henderson. That's who I was looking for earlier. Jocko Henderson. Thank you in the chat room, Paxton Howard. Toasting comes from Jocko Henderson. Philadelphia. Let's listen to some Jocko Henderson.
Everybody's uptight. Everybody's uptight. Trying to get
no, that ain't it. That's a bad one. That's a bad one. Nah, that got copyright. Oh, I can't play it. I don't want to get a copyright strike. I don't want to get a copyright strike, so I'm not going to play it. I'm not going to play it. I'm not going to play it because I don't want to get a copyright strike. I'm not going to play it. But look up Jocko Henderson. See, that's why I fucks with my chat room so heavy. Because y'all some smart motherfuckers. I'm over here racking my brain around trying to remember this man's name. I'm dyslexic like a motherfucker. I will remember.
Rocco engineer Bug, the big rocket ship show.
Oh, shit. I am for real. I'm backwards. I will remember a face and forget the name so quick. Jocko Henderson. You want to know where toasting and rapping comes from? There you go. This is in the 1930s, people. There was no cultural exchange with Jamaicans in the 1930s. He could not have gone down to Jamaica and heard a Jamaican saying this on their radio. They would have had to come here because Black Americans weren't moving to Jamaica like that. Again, more evidence to show you our influence on your culture in Jamaica. I've given you facts. I've given you names. I've given you dates. I've given you evidence. And I've cross-referenced that evidence, both online and through books. I see nobody called in to challenge me because there is no challenge. I put my reputation on the line for this. I put my reputation on the line for this. Go to Spotify right now and get on my Funk Soul playlist, where I'm bringing you. Well, this is Soul Jazz. I don't have Soul Jazz up yet. Soul Jazz is coming. I know I've been telling y'all it's coming for a long time, but it's coming. I've just been busy as hell. But we do have Funk Soul up. You want to get into the roots of the funk of our music? Go to Spotify now. Download my Funk Soul playlist. For you musicians, go download my live drum sample packs. Linktree in the description bar. Black Americans, we some cold motherfuckers, boy. And for far too long, we've been too humble with it. We've been too quiet with it. Somebody asked earlier, how do we take it back? We just claim what's ours. That's how we do it. It's already ours. It's already ours. All we gotta do is pick it up and use it. It's already ours. There's nothing to take back because they don't own it. They don't have it. And we listen to them trying to play it, it sucks. It sucks. Because it's called soul music. Our music comes from our soul. And in that soul is 400 years of trauma we've been facing on this land. Every group of Africans across the planet has their own soul. I'll never shit on a Nigerian and their music. We can't do Nigerian music better than Nigerians. Black Americans, we can't do calypso better than Islanders. That's y'all soul speaking. Be proud of it. Own it and claim it. That's y'all shit. Own it. Make it better. You have a lot to be proud of in your country. From your roots. You have a whole lot to be proud of. I'm not doing this broadcast to shit on y'all. Be proud of what you done. Just stop trying to take our shit and everything will be good. Understand? You understand? Balls Cooney said, somebody said what? Anybody who's still saying hip hop came from Caribbean music at this point, that's somebody who is slow. You can't help slow. Oh, we just got a call. I'm gonna tell you, I was about to log off. Let me take this one call to see if somebody got something to say. What's up, caller? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, what's going on? This is Samir calling up out of New Jersey on the East Coast, man. I just want to say, man, keep up the good work, man. Keep doing what you're doing, and you right on point. And for our brothers and sisters in the diaspora, this, when we're just basically talking about the origins of Black American music and the misperceived notion that this genre of music came by way of the Caribbean definitely is not true. I mean, even when you go as far back as the Beatles paid homage to Black Americans and the influence that Black American music had on the Beatles. And also, like, the only American art form of music is jazz, and that came by way of Black people. So, unfortunately, we're just basically setting the record straight, and it's kind of disheartening that we have for years, white people, taking our inventions and not giving us credit for it. But to have the brothers and sisters from the diaspora do it, that just kind of like really makes it much more disheartening. And man, I could say this, man, you were definitely on your way to being in the likes of like the John Henry Clarks and the Amos Wilsons, man, because I mean your wealth of knowledge, every time you come on this platform, man, I learn something different. I learn something new. And I read a lot. You know what I'm saying? And there's always something that you bring to the table that I never knew. So bro, keep up the work.
I appreciate that, brother. Keep listening, man, and have a good one. I appreciate that for real.
All right.
All right, thanks. Yeah, this is just us claiming ownership of our shit. That's what this is. I'm not shitting on no other group. I'm not minimizing what any other group has done or is doing. I'm just taking claim to what we own. What's up, caller? What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, this is Taylor Drake from Everett, Washington.
What's up, Taylor Drake? How's it going?
Oh, I'm cool. Staying inside. It's a fucking heat wave out here.
Yeah.
Crazy. Anyway, so I just want to talk about like what really peeves me about Busta Rhymes. He's talking about how Black Americans don't have culture, but you're an active participant in the 5% nation. That's
good
that's a
point.
clear
I didn't even
example
think
of Black
about that.
American culture.
Hey, hold on. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I didn't even think about that 5% nation part. Go ahead, brother. Finish what you got to say.
You know, that's hell. Busta Rhymes will tell you himself who created the 5% nation, and he knows all about that. But like, how are you one of the gods and you're confused? What sense does that make? You know,
man.
That's that's
hey,
all
dog.
I really got to say from that.
Thank you, Taylor. I appreciate that input.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for calling. Call back whenever you want.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
See?
This dude Busta is from the 5% nation. I forgot all about that. That man don't know himself. You Jamaican, but you afraid to express your Jamaicanness. You need to see the Latinos do it for you to express your Jamaican side. Black Americans have no culture, but you join Black American 5% nation. Which one is it? Which one is it? But I gotta get out of here, man. I'm getting ready to go to this day party. I gotta take my shower and get all freshened up for this day party. I'ma holler at y'all. But remember this. Black people, ours is ours, and we must claim it. Unapologetically. We must teach this information to the children and pass it down. Because the further back, like what John Henry Clark says, the further back they go, the blacker it gets. Well, the same thing we're hearing in the United States of America. The further you back you go, but what's here in the United States of America, the blacker it gets. People who are from the Caribbean that's trying to claim hip hop roots, they can only go back to the 70s and Kool Herc. But then I could take Kool Herc's words. I can take all of the originators of the Jamaican sound. I could take their words and take you back further. And then I could take you back. I did. I just took you back to Kool Herc's own words and what Kool Herc was playing. And I just took you back to the flat out bandstand instrumentation setup. They cannot pull off their quote unquote so-called sound without our instrumentation. Until they show me somebody rapping over a steel drum and congos in the 1920s, they can't claim shit. Take this information and spread it around. Spread it to the world. Most of all, spread it to your children and the younger generation so that they know. My name is Dwan B. There are no perfect messengers. Only perfect messages for those who are willing to pick up the information. My name is Dwan B. We out.